Hello everyone, this is Dr. Obed, and in this short video, I want to list 7 bad money habits you need to avoid if you want to build wealth. Now, wealth building is a very worthy goal to pursue, but it becomes very difficult to achieve, especially when you have bad financial habits that are sabotaging your aim towards accumulating wealth. Now, I'm going to be listing, in my opinion, 7 very bad money habits you need to avoid if you truly want to build wealth and build it very fast. Number one is living above your means. Now, living above your means means that you spend all the money that enters your hand every month and more. That means that all the money that comes into your hand, you have spent it all. There is no remainder from what enters your hand. You are living paycheck to paycheck. Your expenses are so high that you always need a bailout every month to pay all your bills. You even may have to borrow to pay all your bills. You are spending everything that is entering your hand every month. It means that your standard of living is too high compared to your income level. So this is something you need to curb as soon as possible. You need to reduce your expenses monthly so that you are able to balance your standard of living. You can spend less than you earn monthly so that you have an extra. That excess can now go into your wealth building journey. So without living below your means, it will be very difficult for you to accumulate wealth. So that is number one. Number two, the second bad money habit you need to avoid if you want to accumulate wealth is neglecting a budget. Now, a budget is very vital if you want to accumulate wealth. Many persons think that a budget is too restrictive. It restricts you from spending your money the way you want. And after all, you are the one that works for the money. That's right, but actually, it's the other way around. A budget helps you to spend your money right. It was Dave Ramsey who said that budgeting is telling your money where to go rather than asking yourself, where did your money go? If you don't have a budget, you will always keep asking yourself, where did my money go? Because you are spending on things that you cannot account for. A budget will open your eyes to see the many places you are spending that you should not be spending on, and the things that you are supposed to be spending on that you're not spending a lot on. So a budget will help you to manage your money properly. Without a budget, you cannot effectively put yourself on the right path of financial independence because your money will just keep running around everywhere. There is no plan and there is no tracking. So you are not able to control and manage your expenses very well to be on the right track of financial independence and wealth building. The third bad money habit you need to avoid if you want to create wealth is impulse buying. Impulse buying is, those unplanned expenses that you make, all those things that you buy, on the spur of the moment, those, you didn't plan it, it just came. You just saw those adverts on the internet and you just loved the product and they said they are on sale. The salesperson brought those items to your office and they said that is on discount. Those clothes you buy, you may not even have the money, you can pay later. And you just go ahead and buy stuff that you do not necessarily need at the moment. That impulse buying, you need to stop it as soon as possible. It is stifling your wealth building journey. This is money that you're supposed to use for something else. This is something that is not in your budget entirely, but because of impulse buying, you have just spent the money that is meant for something more important, for something that you don't necessarily need, even if you want it, even if you may want it. If it is something that you need and you are hoping to buy, you want to buy it in your budget, and then you see it on discount. Yes, that is a beautiful, piece of business, but not when it's not in your plan, but you just found it, you just saw it, and somebody just talks you into buying it, and maybe you feel you are getting a discount from it. If it is not in your plan, then it is hurting your financial journey. Now, the fourth bad money habit you need to avoid if you want to create wealth is failing to save and invest. I would have just said failing to invest, but you know, before you will invest, you need money, and that money mostly will have to come from your savings. So you need to save and then invest. All that money that is left from your living below your means, from your creating a budget and avoiding impulse spending, all that extra money that is left after you've done all that should go into your savings. Actually, you should save as much as possible, and then you invest it into something that is profitable, something that is safe, that will generate passive income for you. That is how wealth is created. That is how wealth is built. So if you're not already saving and investing, that means you are already you're behind. You need to have started like years ago, but now that you're hearing it now, you need to start saving and investing. So it's a poor habit not to have savings, not to have an investment, because an investment is something that you are doing for your future. So it's something that is one way that your money works for you, so that you are able to have something by tomorrow in case you are not working anymore. So your investment can generate so much income that the income can even be more than the current income, active income that you're working for now. So that is one way to build wealth and build wealth very fast. You need to save and then you need to have an investment. If you don't have it, then that is a poor money habit. Now, the next poor money habit that you need to avoid and stop immediately is not having an emergency fund. Now, an emergency fund is money that you put away just for purposes of emergency. Now, it's not your regular monthly spending, and it's not your savings for investment. It's just for purposes of emergency. For example, just last month I lost my cell phone, you know, and I was in a position where I needed to buy a phone immediately as soon as possible, to go ahead with my life, my work, and everything. And I did have an emergency fund, but thankfully there's money I put away for something else. I had to bring out that money and buy a phone so that I can continue with my life. Now imagine if I didn't have that money put away, how the impact it would have had on my productivity. So that is the importance of having an emergency fund. You need an emergency fund for just those eventualities. For example, a health challenge, a sudden health challenge, your car may break down. Even if you're servicing the car, you don't plan for it to break down for something, a major event to happen that requires a lot of money. So if you don't have an emergency fund, it may take you out. Actually, it can even make you go and liquidate your investment. No, the thing about an investment is that you need to put it away for a long time and then allow it to generate income. But if you don't have an emergency fund and you have an investment, you will realize that you will keep liquidating your investment prematurely at the time where you're not supposed to. And you may even be at a loss as you keep liquidating your investment. So you need, for your investment to be safe, you need an emergency fund. You can just maybe lose your job, maybe even you may resign from a job that you do not like. Something can happen between when you're looking for a job and you get a new job. That period, you need money to survive. So you need an emergency fund. It's very vital to your journey. If you do not have it, many persons say it's like 3 months to 6 months of your living expenses saved. That's an emergency fund. It just depends on you, but just make sure you have a lot of money that can, sustain you and sustain major repairs, major expenses that are outside of your regular expenses. If it occurs, you need an emergency fund. Now, the sixth poor money habit that a lot of persons have that you need to avoid if you want to create wealth is poor financial education. That is poor money knowledge, poor money, little knowledge about money. You know, there are a lot you need to know about money. The amount of money you have now and your net worth right now is directly proportional to the knowledge you have about money. Now, there's an amount of money that can enter your hand right now that you cannot manage properly. You can spend it all because we don't need any teaching to know how to spend money. But when it comes to managing that money properly, growing that money, multiplying that money, you may not have that skill right now, depending on the amount of money it is. So you need to grow your financial knowledge. This is financial education is not taught us in school. There's hardly any topic on money, even for people who studied financial courses, personal finance. So you need to learn about money. You need to learn about, making money, managing money, multiplying money, you know, um, preserving money. So you need to learn it. The more of it you know, the more you are prepared to build wealth and multiply wealth. The final bad money habit you need to avoid is borrowing money for non-essentials. Now, what it means is borrowing money for regular spending, things that do not appreciate in value. Now, there are two types of debts: good debts and bad debts. Good debts are the debts that you incur on you used it for things that appreciate in value, maybe an investment that brings money that can pay off that debt and then even give you profit. But bad debt are the debt that you borrowed to spend, you borrowed to blow, you just spent it on clothes, on shoes, on things that do not appreciate in value, and then you are now paying debt and paying interest on those debts. Bad debt is going to ruin your wealth accumulation journey. You need to avoid bad debts. You need to avoid debt as soon as possible. The thing with debt is that you may even think that it's a good debt because you feel that this business opportunity is going to work, and then you borrow money and invest in that business, and then it crashes. So, as much as possible, avoid debt until you are mature enough. You have mastered money, you have mastered business, you have mastered what you're doing. You need to avoid debt as soon as possible because it takes people down. It can take you down. So don't be borrowing. Don't love debt. Don't be borrowing up and down. Except it is for business, for investment, for something that you are very, very sure of. Debt is not good for a beginner. That is it on the seven bad money habits you need to avoid if you want to accumulate wealth. Please subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell for more amazing content. See you in the next video. Thank you.